live. Okay, so today we're taking a look at equations of circles. 12, 13, 19. All right, so the equation of a circle. What we saw is, this is a nice picture. What we know is things that are curvy like this are like x squareds, right? Like a parabola, right? And then the thing is it curves again, right? So what makes it x squared, and then this makes it like a y squared. So it's like a double, if you think about it, it's like a double parabola, right? X squared and y squared. So we look at the equation of a circle, it has to have both x squared and y squared. Julia, put the phone away. So the standard form is going to be x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Okay, write that down. Write that down. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. Okay. Now, what does all this mean? Well, we know in math, when we see this minus in math, it means opposite. Okay. It means opposite in math. Okay. So we're going to have our center of our circle is at h comma k. Whatever the value is that, it's the opposite of it, is the center. What the value of that is, it's the opposite, is the center. So you got to find the center of the circle. And the radius is just going to be the square root of that. So whatever this number is, you're going to take the square root of that number. It gives us the radius, okay? So as an example, it's this easy. First of all, the center. Our center, we're going to use the opposites. Opposite, opposite, okay? Our center is simply going to be a positive 2 and a negative 3. That's it. So our center is going to be a positive 2 and a negative 3. So I'm going to go positive 2, negative 3. So my circle has a center down here. We're going to draw our circle in a second, okay? So we just took the opposite of that, positive 2, negative 3. Pretty easy so far, right? The radius is the square root of this number. That's it. So the square root of 25 is 5. Okay, so the radius of this circle is 5. So here's the way I graph circles. And of course, a lot of my circles look like eggs or potatoes. We're going to try and do this. If you like to be really super accurate, I've got the compasses over there. But I'm just going to go from here, out 5, back 5, right from the center. We're going to go out 5, back 5. I'm going to go up 5, down 5, because a radius of 5. And then I'm just going to try and draw it. It doesn't have to be perfect. As long as the circle's in the right place and has the right radius, it doesn't have to be perfect. So, all right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because my radius is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because my radius is 5. I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because my radius is 5. I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's off my page, but that's okay. It'll work. And then I'm going to do my best to try and draw a circle. Okay, it may not be perfect, but I'm just going to try and draw it in the best that I can. Okay. There you go. Not bad. And if yours look like eggs or potatoes or whatever, it's okay. It doesn't matter. As long as you've got the circle in the right spot, right center, and the correct radius, you're good to go, okay? Nobody has to be an artist. If you're a perfectionist, and some of you are, there are compasses in the back, and you can make it look beautiful, okay? Okay, pretty easy? Thumbs up? All right. So example 2 is going to do just the opposite. We want the equation. So to get the equation, we need some x minus h squared plus some y minus k squared equals r squared, because that's my equation. If I go back up to my notes, sure enough, that's the equation right there. We want the equation of the circle. But we need to know what h and k is, and we need to know what the radius is. Okay, so I automatically know what the radius is, right? The radius is 4, and it has a center at 3, 4. So now I already know the center. I know the radius. Let's just plug the numbers into my equation. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go x minus, what's h? It's just 3 squared plus y minus k, what's k? 4. Equals, the radius is 4, equals 4 squared. And I'm going to make that 16. Absolutely, I'm going to make that 16. You guys agree? So my answer, the equation of this circle, is just simply an x minus 3 squared plus a y minus 4 squared equals 16. That's it. Easy? Told you it's an easy day today. It really is. Okay, you guys ready to turn the page?
No.
Okay, I'll wait for you.
Okay, good.
Okay, turn the page. Okay, example 3. What is the equation? So when I see that word, if I'm looking for the equation, I like to start with the equation of a circle, right? When I see that word, I'm going to start with this. So I'm going to go ahead. What's the equation? I'll start with my x minus h squared plus my y minus k squared equals r squared, because that's my standard form of a circle, right? And then what I need to do is find both the center and I got to find the radius. Okay, so first of all, the center. Now to find the center, I'm just going to look at my picture. Might even take a ruler, try and find out where the middle is. So it looks to me as if I were to look right there. That looks like the diameter. Okay. Okay, you guys with me? That sure looks like a diameter. See how it goes right through the middle of that? You already got it. Okay. And then the other one sure looks like it's right there. So if I just kind of draw, drawn through, you know, the biggest part of the circle, right? The diameter, does that make sense? If I'm looking for the center, I just cut the center in half both ways. Okay, that goes through the middle of the circle. So my center is right there at 2, 2. Everybody see that? So that's easy. My center's at 2, 2. Now my radius. Well, I can just count my radius, right? Like a radius is, let's see, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys see that?
Yeah.
So let's put this information into its equation because we need the equation. So we're going to go simply x minus 2 squared, because that's my center, plus my y minus 2 squared equals 4 squared.
Look at that.
Okay, and then I probably change the 4 to 16, right? 4 squared is 16. So it's just going to be an x minus 2 squared plus a y minus 2 squared equals 16. And I'm done. That's it. I'm done. Okay, example 4. Find the equation if the center's at 1, 2, and we have a point on 4, 2. Now, for me, there's 2 ways to do this. One is with formulas, and that'll work. But if we can draw a picture, remember, this is pretty easy because we saw it, right? So I can draw a picture here. It makes it easier. So that's why we got our graph paper. So, yeah, Isaac?
Oh, never mind.
So let's draw a picture. Let's see what's going on. So if I take example 4, and if I can draw a picture, it's really going to help. Okay, so let's see what I got. So my center's at 1, 2. There's my center. And I got a point on it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Okay, so here's my center. So then my circle looks like the radius is what? 3. Yeah, Isaac?
So with that, can't you just maybe not.
I think that's pretty easy. Go ahead. What do you think?
Could you subtract from the center to the other point?
That's it, and that's a distance of 3. Now, if you didn't want to use the graph, you're totally right. You could have gone simply take your
Y's and
yeah, and you end up getting it, don't you? Right? So we know we need the equation, right? So let's start off. I know my center is at 1, 2, and I just found my radius. My radius was 3. Everybody agree that the radius is 3? If you take a look at the circle, should look like this. Again, terrible drawing, right? Terrible drawing, but you know, that does the trick, right? My radius is 3. So if I need the equation, let's start with the equation. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. How am I doing? And then just plug the numbers in, right? I know the center's at 1, 2, so let's just go x minus 1 squared plus a. Y minus 2 squared equals 3 squared. And all I'm going to do is one last step and make that 3 squared into a 9. Okay? X minus 1 squared plus a. Y minus 2 squared equals 9. Done. Easy?
That was it?
That was it.
Oh,
Right?
he knows
Easy.
it.
We can do it. Okay. Okay, now 5. So again, if I can see it, it helps me a bunch, right? You get a visual picture of it, okay? So example 4. If I take a look at example 5, I've got a center at 7, 2. There's my center, but it contains a point at 3, negative 6. Let's go ahead and check that out, okay? Let me draw a picture. Okay, I might have to make a big picture because those are big numbers, so that's okay, I can do that. 7, negative 9. Okay. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Whoa, way down there. But I got it on my graph, right? That's my point at 7, negative 9. And then it contains point 3, negative 6. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right. Here's what I have. So it's going to look something. Oh, that's terrible drawing. Terrible drawing. Horrible. But it's good enough for me to get what I need. Okay. So I know the center, right? But what don't I know? I don't know the radius, right? So the radius, even as bad as my circle is, the radius is right. The radius is right here. Okay. Okay. Now, how am I going to find that? I need the radius. How am I going to find that length? I'm going to make a right triangle. I'm going to make a right triangle. Okay, so I'm going to make a right triangle right there. Do you guys see my right triangle? And what Autumn said is correct. Okay, do you see a right triangle?
It's radius 5.
So yeah, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and call it R. So instead of a squared plus b squared equals c squared, let's write this formula down. It is going to be x squared plus y squared equals r squared. So if I do my Pythagoras theorem, I'm going to go, okay, 3 squared plus 4 squared equals r squared, right? And I've got a 9 plus 16 equals r squared. 25 equals r squared. Square root. R is 5. Okay, now we're almost done. Seriously, we're almost done. Let's put it all together. So let's go back to what I have. I know my center's at 7, 9, and I know my radius is 5. So if I need the equation, right, I go back to my x minus h squared plus my y minus k squared equals r squared, right? And plug the numbers in. There's my h and my k because that's my center. X minus 7 squared plus y minus a negative 9 squared equals my 5 squared. Now, I'm going to fix two things. What are the two things I'm going to fix?
Y plus 9.
Yeah. Y plus 9, we agree, plus double negative, and that'll make that a 25, right? So, let's rewrite this as an x minus 7 squared plus a y plus 9 squared equals 25. Done. Okay, that's all I have. It's not bad. Now, I have some homework.